The U.S. government knows that the angels are coming back to deliver the Israelites. And when I say U.S. government, I'm talking about the military or the executive branch of the United States, which is led by the president, the generals of the various branches of the military, which includes the Space Force, or the U.S. Space Force, and there's commercials out on that where they're trying to get people to be a part of the Space Force. There was a video that I was watching, I believe it was yesterday, where, and if I find it, I'll put it up in the description box, where Donald J. Trump says that there's enemies up there and we gotta, gear up for a war. What he's saying and what he's saying out loud is that we gotta fight the aliens. And the elite know that the aliens, as they call them, are the angels led by Yahweh Shai. They read the scriptures too. See, Esau doesn't talk shit about the scriptures like you got Jakes do, like the conscious guys. All they do is down the scriptures. Esau doesn't down the scriptures. They don't say anything negative about the scriptures. They put themselves in the scriptures by saying that they're the Jews. So they know that this is the scriptures, the Bible, the word of the Most High. That's the only book out there that they go by. Esau does things based upon what's written in the Bible. And they know who we are, and I said that in many videos. But anyway, this right here is a clip from a show that was put up, and I'll put it in the description box with Jesse Ventura. And this is like 6 minutes and 20 seconds in of a 23-minute, 57-second video on RT America. And himself and the woman on the show speaks about this. So they know. They're not telling the world everything they know about the ships and what their ultimate plans are, but they do know that Revelation 12 is going to come to pass. Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, is going to come to pass. And for you newer ones that don't understand these scriptures, there's plenty of videos on the so-called UFOs, the angels, and the if you go to like my page and you put in UFOs or chariots or angels, and if you go to other pages or GMS YouTube accounts. But I mean, if you have any questions, I mentioned some scriptures. If you don't understand the scriptures, please put a comment up, ask a question. Well, what does this scripture mean? And what does this scripture mean? And that's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you you learn, and then you become a teacher. If you're one of the elect. Anyway, I'm going to let you listen right here, and if the Spirit's on me, I might mention a couple more scriptures. But like I said, if you want these breakdowns, you do what I just said, do. Anyway, listen up.
In other news, the Pentagon has announced plans to reveal new details about the government's once secret UFO program. The Pentagon previously claimed the program was defunct, but recent Senate committee reports confirm that people are still working on the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. Government officials say the main goal of the program is to find out whether other countries have breakout aviation technology that could threaten the United States, but it also reportedly seeks answers about life beyond Earth. Now, over the next few months, the Director of National Intelligence will publicly disclose some of the Pentagon's findings on unidentified aerial phenomena. So far, Jesse, government officials are pointing fingers at the aerial capabilities of Russia and China more than they are at possible extraterrestrial threats. Since space is obviously another theater for the new Cold War, I wouldn't be surprised to hear WMD-level claims about what our so-called adversaries are doing in space. Would you?
No doubt about it. I mean, President Trump has already started a Space Force, so he's going to send military up there, and you're going to see militarization of space because...
Space Force. You know, when you hear force in a phrase, you know it's talking about force, military might, weaponry, advanced weaponry. So they're actually planning on encountering these aliens, which, like I said early in the video, that these aliens are actually the angels, Yahweh Shai and the angels. And this invasion from our Lord and the angels are mentioned many times in the scriptures. Daniel the 7th chapter, Zechariah the 5th chapter, and the 1st verse on down. I mean, there's so many scriptures on that subject. Isaiah the 6th chapter, Revelation the 10th chapter. There's so many scriptures that come to mind. And that's another main thing that's going to happen. You know, first, the mark of the beast will be made manifested to the whole planet, where everyone will be chipped, and I believe they're using the coronavirus as a guise to push the microchip, which we here at Great Millstone have been saying for years. And another thing, we go into a lot of topics and we go over, like most of the time you come across a GMS video, we go into a lot of prophecy. And there's only a handful of prophecies that are left before the destruction comes, which is a prophecy. So we'll do a lot of videos on the microchip, being the mark of the beast being a microchip. We do a lot of videos on UFOs. We do a lot of videos on the state of Israel, because now they're popping up, these so-called Jews, and they're basically labeling us anti-Semitic, and we are some Semites. Some more prophetic things that we go into. You know, the Middle East as a whole, keep your eyes on the Middle East. You know, keep your eyes on the economy, because the economy just, actually last night, certain economic type shows, mainly on YouTube. I pretty much watch YouTube for the news and the alternative media, as they call it, where they speak about the economy, and they said that the GDP, you can look it up, it pretty much represents the U.S. government's bank account, how much money you got, how many things that you got, how many assets do you have, and they put a dollar sign on it. So you have these economic experts, so-called, that they're saying that the GDP, we have lost 33% of the GDP. So you can look that up. There's a whole different subject. So what are we to look at in general? Look at the economy. You should be watching anything that has to do with the economy. You should be watching. I always watch. I put on CNN just to hear the garbage that they spew. And then I listen to CNBC, which is a financial branch of the NBC. And I'll watch Bloomberg, and I'll check out individuals such as the Dollar Vigilante. I watch him, and what's this guy? I was just watching him. Damn. Oh yeah, Peter Schiff. He's right on the screen. I got it on pause. Peter Schiff. He goes into the economy. He's been saying that the economy is going down. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. At one point, they had him on these mainstream, business type, economic type shows like CNBC and Bloomberg, and they don't put him on the show anymore because he always has something bad to say about the economy. Well, the economy is crashing right before your eyes. But anyway, I jumped into another subject. Let me come back. But this all lines up, man. This economy and this dollar completely crashing. That's why I told y'all to start getting silver and gold. Not that silver and gold is going to save you, but I did a video a couple of days ago, or 3-4 days ago, early in the week. What was it, Tuesday, Monday night, Tuesday? And I showed you in the video about gold, and I basically asked the question, will gold hit 2,000 an ounce? And yes, it did, but they're just not telling you about it. Well, gold went from, when I did that video, gold went up to $1,943, and it went up to like 45, and it came back down. Well, as of last night and even today, I got to check. I got to go back to the chart. As of last night, gold shot up to $1,975. Actually, it went up to $1,980. So the reason why it's going to go, if it goes down, it's going down because they're throwing dollars into U.S. treasuries, which is nothing but junk bonds, to prop up the dollar. It's just like a ship is leaking water. What they do is they take buckets and they try to move as fast as they can to get the water out of the ship to keep the ship from sinking. But then when the hole becomes bigger, it's harder to bail out the water from the ship, and the ship actually sinks. So that's what's happening now. You can compare the U.S., America, as a great, this is a Titanic all over again. So what are the rich doing? They're getting into lifeboats and they're getting the hell up out of here, man. It tells you in Isaiah the 13th chapter that these people in these other nations, they're going to start fleeing to their country. Because ain't nothing happening. Ain't no jobs around here, man, in this country. Anyway, let me let you listen on. You know me, sometimes I go into these little sidebars, but listen up.
That supports the military-industrial complex, which is hugely powerful and needs support to keep jobs growing in our militaristic country that must have a war.
You see, he mentioned the military-industrial complex, and he said that's what we need to keep jobs going. Now you have a lot of jakes, a lot of our women, a lot of our stupid women, these independent. I don't need no man. I can do it for myself. Well, a lot of them go to the military. In order for them to get rank, they have to get bent over, you know what I mean, by higher ranking officers in order to get rank. So they're freaks. There's a lot of freak. That's a freak fest, man. The military is nothing but a freak fest. Anyway, you had a lot of our women in the military. You have a lot of our men in the military, and you have the so-called Latin tribes, and Judah, and some of the rest of the tribes. A lot of Issacharites, they're heavy in the military, and the reason why they join the military because it's a guaranteed meal ticket. You guaranteed, and the military is always going to be. You're always going to get taken care of if you join the military, because we're in a time of war. And by the way, there's hundreds of wars going on in the world as we speak. I believe it was like something like officially 140 some odd wars going on as we speak. But guess what? The media doesn't tell you about these wars and these proxy wars. They don't give you the whole story. Let's listen on.
War at all times, even if it's just a cold war, we still need cold and hot wars going at all times. The burner's got to be on that. It's a shame.
He said it right. The burner's got to be on that. In the military, you have a series of cold wars. Look that up in Google. And hot wars. What this back and forth with Trump and China is nothing but a cold war. And cold wars eventually turn into hot wars. World War II started as a cold war.
But I'll tell you this, maybe they can make a deal, Brigida. Maybe here on Earth we can make a deal that all wars will be fought in outer space. That might...
You heard what he said? You heard what he said? All wars, maybe we can make a deal that all wars will be fought in outer space. Well, they're only going to have one war. They're only going to have one major war, and they're going to lose that war miserably. No place found in heaven.
Be a good thing. Take it to space, fight it up there, and that way not one bomb.
Now he's saying that the nations of Russia, China, the U.S., they should just go up in outer space and have a war. Well, they're all, that's in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. They're going to stop the wars and they're going to all join together, come together to fight against these aliens, which is the Lord and the angels, and they're going to be wiped out. That's going to be, it's similar to an NBA game. Let's say the Lakers versus the Bulls or whatever. The Lakers poised to win the championship. You know, and I'm just giving you that scenario. And the second quarter going into the third quarter, the Lakers are up 100, let's say 10 points, and the Bulls are up or down 22 points. Well, you already know the outcome of the game. So that's what's going to happen when the Lord and the angels come back. It's going to be a shutout. There's going to be a complete annihilation and shutout of those military forces on the earth that's going to come together. The only thing that would be perceived as smoke and dust, pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. And another thing, they also believe in the Apocrypha. If you notice when Donald Trump was inaugurated, they read out of the Apocrypha. And I think that was the second time they read out of the Apocrypha, and they call it the Book of Wisdom, meaning the Wisdom of Solomon. They never did that. Go back to all the speeches at different inaugurations. They'll read out of the scriptures, they'll put their hand on the Bible, but they never mention the Apocrypha. Now all of a sudden they're reading the Apocrypha. And I believe the Apocrypha was also read, I believe it was also read when John McCain, when they laid him to rest, I believe they read out of the Apocrypha. So they're reading out of the Apocrypha now. So they know that the Apocrypha is a divine book. It's part of the original King James. When King James had the orders to translate the book, the original King James included the Apocrypha. So let's listen on.
Would have to go off on the planet Earth. We could do all the fighting up in space. Do you think maybe that's what they got in mind? I doubt it.
Well, Jesse don't understand. He doesn't understand that. He says, I doubt it. No, they're building the missiles are being built going back to the 60s. You have the ICBM missiles, the history of the ICBM missiles. They've been building up the we've been knowing about the ICBM missiles, for years. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're not building them to put in a museum, as High Priest Yeshaya said. They ain't building the missiles to put in a museum. They're building the missiles because the Most High put the spirit on them, and He gave them the technology to build the missiles. That's in the book of Isaiah. So let's listen to a little bit more. Let's see what else he has to say.
Turn to the health sector, where a new autopsy study of COVID-19 patients out of NYU.
That goes into something else. But anyway, I'm going to say shalom, and it's on to the next one. Shalom.